crypto market is getting fueled by everything bullish narrative. But you need to look beneath what's happening. Yes, it is true. You're getting everything bullish news. If you do look at whatever is being said to you and you're trying to react based on that, imagine there will be someone who is going to do the opposite. And most likely they would be the whales. Most likely their understanding of the scenario can be better. Waiting for a confirmation is going to be the best thing for you. Especially when you do look at assets like XRP, the short-term pattern which you can see in front of you historically has been like this. A bearish Adam and Eve pattern. Yes, it is on a 4-hour chart. So the corrective movement here is not going to be that scary. But still you may get better opportunity, or you can avoid that kind of a trap. Once you're prepared mentally, it's easy. And that's one of the primary reasons why the SI family has been on the top. When the price was still going higher, people were kind of arguing it's about to break. But the thought process shared with the SI family was clear. They knew the thought process is this. When the market shows you the idea, you follow it through. 4 days back, we talked about this and people were waiting to deploy capital. If you do look at the exact same asset on the same time horizon, we came to that level, 63,000 levels. Now you do understand what the market is showing you. To be a part of that, to know the macro, to know the micro, and when we are close to a bottom, not everyone gives you this idea saying, historically speaking, this is almost where we've been bottoming, right? Not everyone actually comes out and says this because you can be proved wrong. But there was a lot of different indicators showing you that. Just like that, the market now shows you some of these key points. And I'm going to take you guys through that now. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. If you want to take part in the SI family, use the link in the description below. Join the family. Use all of these charts which come at the right time for you to use it for your advantage. Now let's break these things down. First, you look at dollar. Dollar is like a little bit choppy, but it's slowly forming lower highs. Yes, it's also forming higher lows, but then here at the last move, it put down a lower low while you already have a lower high. So most likely there can be a start of the next downside. If that's true, now you compare dollar with Bitcoin. Bitcoin slowed down. While dollar topped out, Bitcoin started moving up. And while dollar dropped, Bitcoin accelerated. So this is a time where dollar is trying to push to the downside. When dollar made local top, Bitcoin reversed. Great. If dollar is to continue down, that means Bitcoin should then go back higher. So yes, on a macro horizon, it does show you short to medium term to long term. Yeah, this guy is going to go higher. But what about the micro scenario? Because we have seen these patterns before. Just as you can see in front of you, you're watching this. This pattern, if it doesn't break to the upside, the odds are most likely it's going to break to the downside. We've seen similar patterns in different assets over the time, for sure. And one of them is gold. Because when you do go back in gold and its long-term chart, we get to see these kind of patterns playing out. So in terms of gold, it actually showed you almost similar pattern playing out. And then the break to the downside. But before that break, it gives you a couple of fake out, and that does trap the bulls in that region because they've been extremely FOMO into it, thinking that's going to be a breakout. So that scenario should not be avoided. If the market is going to give you some choppy movement like this, don't be trapped. It can be this kind of a move because that kind of fulfill an area like this. It is kind of coming back down at least to meet this point, or at least to say I'm breaking lower, and here people go short, and that's a support. Going short at a support is not the right thing to do because you may start bouncing off from there. Does the market agree with you? You kind of go into the ether side of things, and remember, we talked about this break to the downside. We talked about this break to the upside and wanted to see a retest. Now we are doing that retest. So you're down, you bounced off, good. Now if you can make a double bottom scenario and then climb up, that's a perfect move. Because that, again, just like we talked about in Bitcoin, gives you an idea that you're forming a new base. You're starting to form a new trend line, which then would highlight the fact that, okay, you are really interested in moving back up. So on a macro horizon, what would that all mean? Because you're still inside this range of consolidation after running up. So if you come down here and bounce back up, break of 3700 in ether will show you it's starting the next leg up. So that's ether for you. Now you understood what XRP was doing. If you bring XRP on a same horizon as ether, which is a 3-day chart, this is what you're watching. Your resistance range is here. And you plot that resistance and argue like, okay, we do have horizontal range. We do have trend lines, which is both kind of showing you, yeah, they are all kind of giving you the idea we hit the support, we're bouncing off, but now we are testing a range of resistance. Can we break this to the upside? Because there are odds here which we should not ignore. We have seen a couple of times where this price actually wicks to the upside, trap people, and then go lower. So such a move should be counted because that can literally be a trap in that case if Bitcoin, if Ether, all does what we were just talking about. So look for XRP doing something like this, going towards 0.6365, and if we do break this range, yeah, it then slowly becomes bullish. But if we don't, this level will also act as a resistance. Yes, that's a key part you need to consider. But at the same time, do look at the total altcoin market. When you give your idea on each of these assets and you're focused here, you know you're waiting for a breakout. Let's remove all this noise and then put it clearly. If you see a breakout here, yeah, that's a continuation pattern. So if you do a chop here like this, that's a bull flag forming the wave 1 correction, and most likely you are going to take off from there. So all of this is in front of you. The only thing you need to do is to take the most educated choice. Because short term, if you are involved in the market and you react to everything that's said to you from the other side, it may not end well. Rather, if you do look at the market and say, okay, there is a lot of bullish news coming in, so most likely this is going to materialize in a bullish outlook. That means, yeah, you want to buy any dip. You want to use any drop in the price. Most likely, the price action can give you somewhat something close to the horizontal support. Because at that point, we are arguing what? Remember, you should not forget the Wyckoff structure as well. At that point, we are arguing that the price action in Bitcoin came higher. It did ride all the way to the upside. Now it's putting in a spring. So after the spring, usually you're giving a last point of support test and then going back up is the best thing. Because the market already surprised us with a wick down here, because last time we didn't get that spring event. And right now we did. So the market kind of did a choppy move. And that's what we say. The market will surprise at different points. It consists of a lot of whales and financial institutions. So we are kind of prepared for such scenarios. But what now? On the macro scale, did this change things? I wouldn't say so, because when you do look at the macro understanding on a weekly chart, you see that the Bitcoin broke back into that trend line, which has been there from like 2.5 years. That's absolutely bullish for me. I would argue that when you do zoom in on that trend line, which we are monitoring here, the price action broke back above. It's retesting that and giving it all that it has to bounce back. But yeah, in between that, you can wick back down to 62. That's still okay. You are in the range. But what matters is that you being able to do this, you being able to fly off, because that's extremely bullish for the market. And while that happens, yeah, for sure, you will see a lot of other coins doing this. SI family already got all of these charts, Jasmy, XCC, all of those which are actually now showing you they are about to move up already in the sessions. We were going through this Ask for TA session. People were asking what they want. We are already going through that. 20, 30, 40 assets published. And another set of 100 will be published over this week. So make sure you have an advantage and join 1,200 plus members. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, smash that for me. I'll meet you guys on next video. Bye for now.